Hi everybody, this is Ruth Royal from Youth Pledge for Employers, and I'm really delighted to be here today with Ben Barker, who's roofing tutor at Eastern Region Training. Hi Ben, lovely to see you.
Hiya, pleasure to be here.
So tell us first of all a little bit about what Eastern Region Training does.
So we have two sides here at Eastern Region. We provide tutelage and the courses for the roofing apprentices who are aiming towards their level twos. And we work alongside the employers and NOCN and the assessors to get them through their journey from start to finish. We work pretty close with the employers as well, and also, sometimes it can be a lot of school leavers who come to us. So we try to link people up, almost like a matchmaking service, but just for jobs. And then we have so that side I oversee the majority of it. And then we have our other side where we provide BTEC level qualifications to students from schools and trusts, so under 16s, which is run by our construction tutor and also mechanic tutor, Dominic. So yeah, we provide quite a range when it comes to education, mainly in construction, but also the roofing side of it being a core aspect. And we also do some domestic training, whether that's online or in-house. So we have Clive being the director. He's also our qualified assessor and tutor when it comes to some of the more, let's say, by the book health and safety themed.
Sort of higher level, yeah.
Yeah. So providing green cards and health and safety courses.
Right.
Yeah, he runs that side, asbestos awareness and all that kind of stuff. So we provide that as well. We are very core focused on education though. So whether it's for children in school who perhaps struggle a little bit with classroom work, they come out here, they a couple times a week, sometimes only one time a week, and they get to do all sorts of construction, whether that's from plumbing to bricklaying to carpentry, everything, and they get a qualification at the end of it as well. So
fantastic.
Yeah, it's a really good step in the door for some youngsters that are a little bit unsure of what they want to do, but their learning types and the way that they work is just more physical and more, they want to be figuring something
more practical.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of kinesthetic learning. Oh, that's really interesting. And it seems to me, so you've explained sort of really clearly about sort of the different sorts of jobs that you guys do in the organisation. How did you get to become a tutor? What did you do?
Oh, well, I was I started off roofing when I was about 15, turning 16, and it was just a part-time job for me at the time. It was just a summer. Because I myself am a school leaver. I moved. I never finished secondary school. I moved country at the time. I used to live in Germany.
Right.
So it was quite difficult to get back into it.
Yeah.
So when I moved to England and I went to college, but then at part time, I was working towards my functional skills corely because I needed something. And I was just part time working as a roofer with a local business here in Ipswich. And basically that just evolved, really. I just started doing that more often. I dropped out of college, which I don't recommend to everybody, but I dropped out of college and I did that full time. After a couple of years, so by the time I was 18, I did the apprenticeship with Eastern Region Training.
Oh, brilliant. You're homegrown.
Yeah, basically. So I did the apprenticeship, completed that successfully, and then went on to I finished that by the time I was 19, 20, I believe it was at the time. The course has changed a lot since, and I moved on to just being a roof tiler for the next few years. So I'm now 25 going on 26, and I've got about 10 years of roofing experience behind me, and I kind of just woke up and thought I kind of need to do something a little bit different, and I got offered a place here, so which was not really what I was expecting, although teaching was one of my core it was one of the core subjects I wanted to go into later in life, basically. You
Yeah.
know, when I was at school, I always wanted to be a teacher. At the time, I didn't think it would be for roofing. I thought more history and geography, but I've you know, over the years I've grew my skill in roofing, my knowledge and everything that I have, and I really focus my career now based around not just roofing but construction in general. And yeah, so Clive over here took me for an interview, and you know, he recognized my face and my name and said, "Oh, you were here just, you know, 8 years ago." And I said, "Wait, yeah, I was." And yeah, so now I'm, you know, I'm providing the service that that I received when I needed it, basically. You know, somebody who was taking a trade more academically seriously. I think that's what a lot of trades deal with. There's a big stereotype around it and everything, very masculinated and whatnot. So a lot of youngsters struggle to see the more
Mm.
teaching classroom side of it, but it's core and it's important, and
Yeah.
especially in this day and age where everything is, you know, qualification this, qualification that. You have to be assessed. You have to have these things, these core skills and knowledge. And you know, I just really like bringing that across to young men, or even older people. I've got two apprentices who are in their 30s, so
Yeah.
no, it's never too late to change your career, kind of thing. And
And presumably all sorts of genders are interested in construction, but you know, it
oh,
tends to be a male dominated
oh,
environment, I guess, which
pretty
is probably.
much.
But can
Roofing.
I just ask you, what do you think is like kind of like so you've got all this sort of vocational experience, 10 years worth of vocational experience, and you've decided to channel it into teaching. What sort of what's like the best thing about your job, and probably what's the most challenging bits for you?
I think the most challenging bit is finding a balance with the apprentices, um, and the educational side of it. I think so. A lot of individuals go into construction in the first place because they don't quite like the academic side of work or learning or whatnot. So they are just more hands-on. They don't want to sit in front of a computer. They don't want to write an essay or do a quiz and whatnot. They do all of those things here. But it's providing that service and piquing their interest into it. So helping them understand this is important, and just because you know it wasn't your natural interest or something that you're used to doesn't mean that you can't do it. You
Yeah.
know, and you know, everybody has all of my apprentices, I couldn't say a bad thing about a single one of them. You know, so that they're all doing great. That is the hardest but also the most, you know, satisfying thing about the job, really, is seeing that outcome of you know, teaching an individual knowledge and then watching them put that knowledge into practice,
Yeah.
knowing that you've helped them understand something, helped them be capable of completing something. It's very, very, very rewarding seeing it put into practice and just knowing in your head, oh, I taught you that.
Oh, that must be really nice. I
Yeah.
wonder if you were to go back and sort of have a conversation with young Ben, like especially that sounds really challenging, moving countries and schools, etc. What bit of careers advice do you think you'd give yourself, Ben?
I would personally, I think just for me, I would say don't put everything down just because you think you can't do it.
Oh yeah.
So I was, for 10 years, I was very nervous of changing jobs. There was a few times where, you know, so many things piqued my interest, but I just didn't make that move for it because I was like, I'm good at roofing. This is what I'm going to do. And you know, sometimes I'm satisfied and with myself and my own career output, but I just believe sometimes, you know, 100% just go for something, because I've never done teaching before. I've taught individuals on a roof, like labourers coming in and out of work, and I've helped them understand roofing and taught them physically right there, practically. But you know, being on the academic side of it here at Eastern Region, you know, absolutely new to me. And it didn't take me too long to get used to it, and I'm still learning to this day, and I think I'll still learn for the rest of my life. That's how I see it. Everything that you don't understand is just a learning curve for you to kind of wrap your head around. So, you know, I personally believe I missed out a lot of opportunities in my life because in my head, I was my own worst enemy, thinking you can't do that, but you can. You really, really can. And there's a lot of individuals here that come and go constantly, and they just, they do things and they surprise themselves. And it's just giving them that extra motivation, telling you you can do that, you are capable of it, you know, helping them along, you know, very, very satisfying. And I think if I was going to tell any young individual about their career, just go for it, you know, just try your best, because that's, you know, if you never try your best, then you'll never know what your best is. So
Ben, that's an absolutely brilliant inspirational note to end on. Thank you so much for your time today.
Absolutely no problem at all. Very, 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 very thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Thank you. Bye, Ben.
Bye bye.